The latest Skyranger and Skynex air defense systems go up against the Russians. Ukraine has received the first Skyranger and Skynex air defense systems. Armin Paperger, CEO of German arms concern Rheinmetall AG, said in an interview with the Pioneer on the anniversary of the Russian invasion on February 23, 2023. According to him, these systems can shoot down not only airplanes, but also unmanned aerial vehicles and cruise missiles. It's not reported how many systems have been delivered. We think that so far one Skyranger and one Skynex have been delivered. This video shows why we think so and why these deliveries are very important for Ukraine. It's noteworthy that such systems are not even in the arsenal of the Bundeswehr. They've just been ordered by the German corporation Rheinmetall AG. It's believed that 4 such systems would be enough to completely cover the sky over the German capital, Berlin. However, instead of Germany, these systems went to Ukraine. For this reason, we think that Skyranger and Skynex each went to war. They simply did not have time to make more of them. And it's impossible to take from the stockpile as there are no stockpiles. These are the newest weapons. Probably the newest of all that's being used in this Russian-Ukrainian war. What are these systems? Let's take a closer look at each of them. The Skynex modular air defense system can include various elements: the Oerlikon Revolver Gun Mk3 combat module, the Oerlikon Skymaster combat control system, the Oerlikon X-TAR3D tactical detection radar, and the Oerlikon multisensor unit MSU. The Oerlikon Revolver Gun Mk3 combat module is a 35mm Oerlikon Mk3 revolver-type anti-aircraft gun mounted on a truck chassis. The developers position the unit as a versatile short-range anti-aircraft system. It can fight against planes and missiles. Installed equipment allows for detecting small targets like drones and successfully hitting them. It can be remotely controlled, and its armament can vary depending on the customer's demands. It's claimed that the complex can be equipped with Oerlikon GDF-009 Trio 35mm dual cannon, Oerlikon laser cannon, and GEPARD's CRAM missile system. Target detection equipment can also be replaced. The 35mm Oerlikon Mk3 automatic gun is capable of using 35 by 228mm rounds with different types of rounds, including programmable fuses. The rate of fire is up to 1,000 rounds per minute, and it can fire up to 200 rounds per minute in single-shot mode. The maximum range is 4 kilometers. The gun is mounted on an artillery turret which can rotate 360 degrees. The turret is optionally inhabited with a commander's hatch on the roof, but the standard calculation is 2 men. The gunner, operator, and commander must be placed in the hull of the complex vehicle. There's also a driver of the vehicle. Also on the turret are 5 fixed-panel radar antennas with actively phased S-band antenna arrays. The turret has STANAG 4569 Level 2 armor protection, upgradable to Level 4. The Oerlikon X-TAR3D tactical detection radar is a 3-dimensional X-band radar. It solves the problems of short-range search, detection, capture, escort, classification, and identification of targets at a distance of up to 50 kilometers. The range is effective against a wide range of aerial threats, from traditional aircraft and helicopters to stealthy targets such as drones and cruise missiles. It can also detect rockets and artillery ammunition. The Oerlikon Multisensor Unit, MSU, is an all-weather surveillance system. It's a rapidly deployable system with non-rotating 3D ASA search radars covering a 360-degree sector. Note that the Oerlikon X-TAR3D tactical detection radar and the Oerlikon MSU multi-sensor unit are located on separate chassis and may not be part of the complex. In this case, the radar on the tower makes the target decision, but the detection range is reduced to 20 kilometers. The complex, for its ability to shoot down small drones, has already received the unofficial name Drone Warrior. You may say, so what? Last summer, Germany supplied more than a dozen GEPARD self-propelled anti-aircraft systems. They each have 2 twin 35mm Oerlikon GDF cannons, which together deliver 1,100 rounds per minute. They also have an S-band search radar with a rotating antenna and a Ku-band fire control station with a swinging antenna. True, according to the Ukrainian military, these GEPARDs, which were developed in the mid-60s to early 70s, did not prove to be very effective. So how is the Skynex better? In many ways. First, the GEPARD's locators detected the target at a distance of up to 18 kilometers, Skynex up to 50 kilometers. subject to the tactical detection radar Oerlikon X-TAR3D, and secondly, the Skynex can fire projectiles with a programmable fuse. What does that mean? Such ammunition is called AHEAD, short for Advanced Hit Efficiency and Destruction. The Skynex gun has a programming coil on the muzzle of the gun. The ballistic calculator, receiving data from the laser rangefinder, calculates the time of flight of the projectile to the target. Depending on this time, a certain amount of current is fed to the coil programmer. Each projectile flying out of the cannon enters the magnetic field of this coil and, depending on its value in the projectile, sets the time of detonation of the bottom programmable detonator. On approach to the target, the fuse detonates a demolition charge and pushes 152 projectile elements of 3.3 grams each out of the projectile body, which forms a cone towards the target. In practice, the detonation is carried out from 10 to 30 to 40 meters from the target. That is, it's not necessary to hit the target directly. Naturally, in such a case, the probability of hitting the target rises sharply. This is an effective way to cut the cost of defense against drones, which can be defeated by several shells, according to calculations from 1 to 3. In terms of cost, this is much cheaper than expending anti-aircraft guided missiles. The Oerlikon Revolver Gun Mk3 has a payload of 252 rounds. The cost of each projectile is only 4,000 euros. Now about the Skyranger air defense system. It's largely unified with the Skynex. The same tactical detection radar, Oerlikon X-TAR3D, the same multi-sensor unit, Oerlikon MSU, and the same fire control system, Oerlikon Skymaster. The difference is in the combat module and the chassis on which it's mounted. In 2022, this system was introduced in the Skyranger 30 variant, which uses a smaller caliber 30mm Oerlikon KSE automatic gun with a range of up to 3 kilometers. At the same time, the composition of weapons is complemented by a module for launching 2 small anti-aircraft missiles with a range of up to 9 kilometers with infrared or laser guidance. The exact model of the missile is not known at the moment, but the possibility of using 2 short-range Skynet short-range surface-to-air missiles with an effective range of 2 to 8 to 9 kilometers and infrared homing was considered earlier. The Skynight SAM system was unveiled at the IDEX 2021 exhibition in Abu Dhabi by Halcon, an Emirati company that's part of the Emirati Group Edge. Now for the artillery part of the system, the Oerlikon KSE gun. It's based on the 30mm Oerlikon KCA gun developed in the 1970s, which was installed on the Swedish fighter SAAB JA-37 VIGGEN. The KA gun in the Skyranger 30 complex has a practical rate of fire of up to 1,000 rounds per minute and also fires programmable ammunition. The total amount of ammunition is 220 rounds. The chassis used is a German Boxer wheeled armored personnel carrier. It's difficult to overestimate the importance of supplying these state-of-the-art defense systems to Ukraine. The Russian army has significantly weakened the Ukrainian air defense system, but it's not been able to destroy it completely. Therefore, Russian fighters and bombers do not risk entering its range and cannot destroy the bridges over the Dnieper River and other infrastructure through which Western weapons are supplied, allowing Ukraine to continue fighting. Faced with this problem, the Russians, in order to destroy various objects and uncover the location of Ukrainian anti-aircraft missile systems, began to massively use kamikaze drones of Iranian origin, Shahed-136, or as the Russians call them, Garin-2. But the problem is that they're used for them the scarce missiles of the Soviet-made S-300 and Buk-1 systems. There's no place to buy such missiles anywhere but Russia. And in this situation, modern German air defense systems such as Skyranger and Skynex can protect Ukrainian air defenses and other critical facilities from kamikaze drones. And there will be no shortage of ammunition. At a cost of 4,000 euros for a projectile, they can be delivered to Ukraine by the thousands. This means that bridges will be intact and the supply of Western arms will continue. The 35mm programmable fuse rounds are already in use in the infantry fighting vehicle gun CV-9035 Mk3 of the Dutch and Danish ground forces, and 30mm shells are part of the 30mm Rheinmetall Mauser Mk30 2AVM cannon of the German PUMA armored infantry fighting vehicle. So they are in production. In addition, Skyranger and Skynex can effectively cover the skies over Ukrainian troops during the Ukrainian counterattack, which the whole world, without exaggeration, is waiting for. After all, its outcome will largely determine the outcome of the Russia-Ukraine war, and thus the West's continued ability to maintain its leadership position in the world. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up to be seen by as many people as possible. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. There will be many more interesting videos about modern weapons.